Hey folks, I think we're taping.
Hi!
I'm sandwiched between the Twisted Twins. How cool is that? And they've already messed me up. I already called Sylvia Jen, but now I know. Now I know.
Oh,
the
I messed
secret.
it up. I'm Jen, actually. No, I'm just kidding. I am Sylvia. I am.
Okay.
Last time she checked, she was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be the authority here. I think I know you well enough now that we've known each other for 3.5 minutes that I can say with authority that you are Jen Sylvia.
I'm Jen's sister, Sylvia.
You know what? I'm just going to let you all figure it out there. Who knows who's who? Let's see. So I am here at Urban Post in downtown Toronto. Well, in East downtown Toronto, my hood.
I like your hood. It's very
love
nice
it.
here. I could live in Urban Post, actually. I love it so much.
Guys, I'm just going to tell you, I feel like I'm in stereo sound here because things just keep happening on both sides. It's like, what's happening? This is so cool being between the twin mind meld. Let's speak of the twin mind meld first of all.
Of course.
Do you share a brain?
Oh, absolutely. We have ESPN. No. But we do.
I too watch that channel sometimes.
It's really great because I can look at her and I can have a full conversation just with a look. And also, we speak Hungarian. A lot of people think it's a twin language we made up. No, it's just one of the most difficult languages in the world.
Yeah, Jen and I didn't actually realize how connected we were until we were teens, and we were talking about this dreamscape that didn't exist in reality, and then she started describing what it looked like, and I was like, oh my god, we go to the same place in our dreams? That's messed up.
That is pretty cool.
Very creepy,
Yeah.
but cool.
Yeah,
Oh
Dr.
my God.
Mengele experiment.
Ooh, maybe that's going to be a future movie.
Ah.
But right now, we're talking about a remake of a classic horror film, David Cronenberg. So Canadian upon Canadian, I love that. We're talking about Rabid, and starring the very lovely, very ethereal, beautiful Laura. And she's...
Poor Laura Vandervoort. She really suffered to make this.
But she suffers so beautifully, and beautiful things
Beautifully.
do come out of suffering.
Yeah,
beautifully.
I think a lot of people get so caught up on her being Supergirl and what she looks like, and obviously we're used to people just looking at us and just making like complete
Surface
assumptions
level.
of everything. But this, you really get under the surface, and man, did she go some pretty dark places. It was one of the darkest, most challenging things I think she's ever done, and she put so much of herself into that. I'm so glad that she trusted us with that role because, I mean, if you've seen the original, it's uncomfortable. It's just suffering. I mean, they always say with the David Cronenberg movie, you're never supposed to feel comfortable. So she established that very well.
And you shouldn't be able to eat. I still can't eat while watching The Fly.
Yeah.
You know what? That is so true. Just bits of his, regurgitation scenes. Not
Brundle
Oh,
Fly.
we got something good for you and Rabid then.
And I just stepped into the post room here, and they said that I just missed a really gory scene. So for these two to say something is really gory, I think that is speaking volumes for
Yeah. Well, don't blame us. Blame Masters Effects. They're the sick people that looked at the script and they're like, let's make this monster. And we got Steve Kostansky from Astron 6, who's actually our head creature designer, and he was absolutely amazing.
Is that the creature that is Laura, or is there another creature?
There are there are two creatures in this film that you've never seen anywhere before, and that includes Japanese horror. So we really set the bar high.
Because Asian horror is next level.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There is some messed up stuff in Asian horror.
very much so. Like Tokyo Gore Police, that was kind of like an inspiration of how wild we could go.
And Takashi Miike, I mean, he's such a brilliant director. I think he's made hundreds.
I don't know what names they're mentioning right
Yeah.
now. I do know that Japanese horror and Asian horror in general is really crazy, but now they're just talking like...
We're making up names,
filmmaker
and that's
stuff.
not even a thing.
Although I will say that I speak Japanese a little bit.
Do you?
Wow.
That's amazing. Well, when we go, you have to come with us.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
I
be
will
our
be your
translator.
translator.
You'll be our Sophie Fatale.
There you go. I studied in university, and I won a speech contest, so I got to go to Japan for a couple of
That's
weeks.
amazing.
Yeah.
I plan on going there and never returning.
Well, that could happen. I hope it happens for good reasons and that you don't get, attacked by some monsters.
Yeah, we're always thinking about that. How are we going to get killed or murdered wherever we go? Everyone thinks we're super brave, but I'm super jumpy because I'm always thinking of something and someone will be like, hi, Sylvia. I'm like, ah!
Sorry, you're a survivor.
You
If
don't
I
know-
hear a bang, I'm on the floor, and people are like, "Oh, that's nothing." I'm like, "But if it was a bullet, I'd be cool. And you'd all be in
Right.
trouble."
Right, I'm like that. I feel like if it came to the end of the world and there were zombies, I would totally be a person with integrity, fighting till the end. Then when I go and play paintball, I'm the biggest baby.
Oh,
Don't
really?
hit me. It hurts.
It's
It does
painful.
hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, sorry, slight digression there. So let's talk about why you wanted to make this remake and how it came upon your plate, so to speak.
Well, we were reached out to if we would like to remake Rabid, and I thought, oh my God, of course, yes. And David Cronenberg is one of our biggest influences, and not just for us. I think as a Canadian national cinematic identity, he is one of the filmmakers who's always played by his own rules. He's never kind of catered to anybody, and he never left Canada, which
Yeah.
is so beautiful. Even though he wasn't super embraced and super helped all along the way, he stayed here, and I just was terrified of somebody who doesn't love David or understand his work attempting a remake. I mean, they might have made it about rabies, not transhumanism.
Transhumanism.
Oh, you'll
Okay.
learn a lot
Is
about
that in the
transhumanism.
dictionary? Is that actually a...
Well, it is a word. It's a kind of advanced science. Like when you do anything past your normal biological makeup, like wearing glasses, that's transhumanism. You know,
Then I'm transhuman.
Yeah,
It's true. It's forcing our
Isn't it?
evolution past how we actually naturally evolve.
Oh my God.
And 42 years previous, in the original Rabid, he was already talking about that. He anticipated stem cell research. He
Right.
anticipated. There's even a quote of him saying, because they were on the phone, he's like, I think phones are going to get more advanced and they're going to separate people more than connecting them. And I'm like, 42 years ago, you can still talk about his stuff because he was so above it.
And
So
transhumanism was first coined, that phrase, by a Canadian philosopher.
Yeah, so everything is 100% Canadian.
Basically, Canada is the best.
Pretty much, we
And,
knew that.
Start and end right here. So, what is different about your version of Rabid?
Well, I will say that there has never been two films that are a better example of female gaze versus male gaze.
Yeah.
David is cis, white, male, and heterosexual. We are pansexual, and also that means that
Now, when you say we, do you mean the two of you, or do you mean we as in the we here?
Oh,
We're
as
both
in both of
female.
us. We're attracted to souls, not flesh suitcases, probably because we're always
Oh.
judged on how we look on the outside.
I prefer not to use the term flesh suitcases for the rest of this.
It does paint a beautiful Cronenbergian
I don't
picture.
consider myself a flesh suitcase. But if I was, I would be a carry-on. Okay.
And the other big thing is David is not a spiritual person. He's very scientifically minded, but we are very spiritual, and there is a real discussion of what is filled in that void when there's an absence of God and an absence of believing in anything beyond creating yourself as a god. And you do see some very disturbing things that I'm not going to ruin anything, but you will definitely notice that if you watch the film side by side. Amazingly, it follows basically the exact same storyline as the original, although in David's, Rose didn't have a last name, she didn't have a career, and she kind of was a plus one to her boyfriend, and she was kind of not even involved.
Not in this version.
Oh, hell no.
Uh-uh.
David also says love is useless, so...
We took that theme and we ran with it.
Nice. So when you talk about being spiritual, do you follow a specific faith, or are you just spiritual in the larger?
Oh, both. Jennifer and I were the first altar servers in Western Canada for the Roman Catholic Church, the female one, so that was a huge thing for us. I've always found spirituality to be very interesting, but organized religion, I feel that it is almost like a corporation. You kind of miss some of the things because there is so much of a business side to it. If you look at what's going on with the Catholic Church right now, there is a lot of stuff that needs cleaning up. But, the most important thing you can do is open a dialogue and talk about those things. So if you could take, some of the first female altar servers and we have these things to say, more people will be like, oh, I have a thing to say too. And, it could make it better.
I also feel religion isolates so many groups. I mean, it just says no, no, no. And I'm pretty sure Jesus was very clear about love thy neighbor. He didn't have an asterisk and say, except in these cases, don't love thy neighbor.
Right? That's where we all got involved a little bit and watered it down to fit our own
Absolutely.
desires. So talking about how much gore is in this film, so that even you two got a little bit freaked out watching it.
I've been
replayed.
having nightmares for the last week. I don't suggest watching Rabid 8 hours a day for weeks straight. It's really, really, really upsetting. But if you want to see a movie that'll have a mark on you that won't shake off after you leave the theater, I really suggest checking this one out.
It's a very amazing body horror, but if you're saying, oh, it's going to be too scary for me to watch, you'll be surprised that you can handle watching it, because it's not just blood and gore and nudity for the sake of it. It has a real artistic expression, and it's not going to be as harsh as Martyrs, if anyone has seen that film. But it is it is very, it stays with you. It's just nightmarish. It's even the tone. I mean, even when it's not gory, there's going to be parts of like, the gore was nice compared to
Feels
this.
like repulsion. I mean, poor Laura loses her mind, and you don't even know, is she insane? I mean, it's about a biological vampire. If you became a biological vampire, how could you communicate that with people? How could somebody tell you, oh, by the way, you're a vampire? I mean, it's just the weirdest thing to say. It's just a weird thing to accept about yourself, and especially if you have like cosmetic surgery that makes you like look perfect right after, like, and then all of a sudden you don't need glasses, you don't need anything. Most people are like, well, it's an easy fix. And the thing is, with beautiful people, so many things are forgiven. You look past a beautiful person because you think you can trust them. And we really play with that.
Do you see, we just had a twin moment where we both said,
Hashtag
twinning.
I missed that. Damn, I was just about
You
to
were
do it.
so there.
You
You were so there. You were so there.
Slight tangent, but on the beautiful topic, there was an episode of the original Twilight Zone where where this girl was having an operation to make herself beautiful.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Do you
that
remember this?
one.
And they're all, you don't see her because she has her bandages all over her face, and the surgeons and everything and the nurses have their surgical masks, so you don't see them either. Until the big reveal when they take off her bandages and she's gorgeous like a Laura.
Yeah.
But they go, she's hideous, and then they take off their surgical
Yes.
masks, and they all have pig snouts.
I
It's
remember
just
that.
beauty is so, subjective.
It's
Absolutely.
so true. It's so true. And we might have hacked that bandage over the face thing for our movie too.
Yeah. My final question is that with all the gore in this film, and with Laura being a vegan, did she get grossed out on set?
You know, she is the most team player I've ever met. There's in the original, she feeds on a cow. I didn't bring a cow in, but there is a steak scene, and it's actually a veggie steak.
Oh.
And what happens with said steak is really revolting and disgusting,
Yeah, it
to the
is.
point
Thank you,
that
Laura. Thank
I
you.
am going to tell you it's not a real steak. So when you're in the theater, just say it's only a movie. It's only a movie.
I'm already having nightmares, ladies. Nowhere else would that be such a compliment, but I think I have cemented myself as the triplet.
Welcome.
The twisted triplet. Welcome.
Want a
Also,
hashtag
where did
twinning?
that? Yeah.
1, 2.
Twinning!
You did it. You did it. You're
I
fine.
did it! All right, awesome. Folks, you got to come see this film. We don't know exactly when it's coming out, do we? But is it
This
summer?
year, it's somewhere between May and August, and I'm not sure it's going to do a theatrical straight in or if it's going to do a film festival run.
Right.
I'd love to do a film festival run because then I can see all the fans and hug them
Yeah.
and be like, "Yay! Thank you for coming."
Awesome. That's it for me, Priya, with Jen.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, folks. I'm going to go in and check out what's going on in there, and hopefully I don't have nightmares. If I do, I'm going to tell you all about it.
Yay.
Bye.